I still remember the way she laughed, that sharp, mocking tone. Why would anyone care what you do? You're just a nobody. Her words weren't casual. They were surgical. She wanted them to cut deep. And, for a moment, they did. It was my mother, the one person whose approval I had spent half my life chasing. The one person who made it clear, again, that I would never be enough. But that night, something shifted inside me. I didn't defend myself. I didn't cry. I just went quiet. Because what she didn't know was that I'd already set the first piece of my plan in motion. Let me take you back. I wasn't the golden child. That was my brother. Charming, loud. The kind of man who could trip on his own shoelace and still get applause for the fall. He was perfect in her eyes. The heir, the favorite, the success story. Me? I was invisible, quiet, thoughtful. Always the shadow trailing behind his spotlight. Mom used to say it with a smirk. He's going places. You? You'll end up with books and daydreams. She wasn't entirely wrong. I built a life away from them, a private one. No announcements, no explanations. A career under a name most wouldn't recognize until they typed it into Google. But family never Googles you. They think they already know who you are. When my brother announced his engagement, I stayed silent in the corner of the celebration. Mom was radiant, beaming, already calling his fiancée the daughter she always wanted. That night, while they toasted champagne, Mom leaned in close to her, loud enough for me to hear, "Don't worry about her. She's just a nobody. Always will be." I kept my eyes down, but inside I was smiling because I knew what would happen next. My brother's fiancée was curious. Too curious. She was polite at first, asking me where I worked, what I did. I gave her the smallest answers possible, just enough to leave space for her imagination, just enough to make her wonder. And wonder she did. 2 days later, I saw the notification hit my work email. An unfamiliar IP, a search with my name attached. The fiancé had Googled me, and, just like that, she had stepped into my world. When she called me the next day, her voice shook with something between awe and disbelief. "Why didn't you say anything?" she whispered. I didn't answer. I didn't need to, because now she knew. Now she saw the companies I'd built, the projects with my name etched in contracts that spanned continents, the articles, the interviews quietly published, deliberately distanced from family. I wasn't invisible. I was untouchable. And she couldn't keep it to herself. At dinner that weekend, I waited. I waited for the moment her curiosity would crack wide open in front of everyone. It came faster than I expected. One glass of wine in, she laughed nervously and said, "Your sister is incredible." I had no idea. "Do you guys even realize who she is?" The room froze. Mom's fork clinked against her plate. My brother frowned, clearly irritated. And I just sat back and let the silence do the work. "What are you talking about?" Mom's tone was sharp, defensive. So his fiancée told them every detail she could remember. Every headline, every partnership, every accomplishment she'd pieced together from Google's first 10 pages. The color drained from my mother's face. She looked at me like she was seeing me for the first time. Like maybe, just maybe, she'd miscalculated. But I didn't rush to comfort her. I didn't confirm or deny. I just smiled slightly and said, "I told you I'm nobody." That night, my brother pulled me aside. His pride cracked, fragile. He asked for opportunities, contacts, connections. And my mother, she begged, actually begged, for forgiveness, for involvement in my life, for recognition she'd never earned. I gave them nothing. No promises, no reassurances, just distance. Because revenge isn't always fire and fury. Sometimes it's colder, quieter. Watching the people who dismissed you realize they built their world on the wrong foundation. I didn't scream. I didn't argue. I didn't prove myself with words. I let the truth they'd mocked, dismissed, and ignored, speak for me. My brother's fiancée never left me alone after that. She looked at me differently. admiration mixed with caution. She knew what I was capable of. And my mother? She never called me a nobody again. She just sat there staring at me across every family dinner, silently choking on the weight of her own laughter. People think revenge is about destruction. It isn't. It's about revelation, about letting the mask slip, letting them see what they missed while they were too busy mocking. And sometimes the sweetest revenge is silence, letting them discover that the nobody they laughed at was the one person they should have never underestimated. I never had to raise my voice. I just let the truth do the killing. And it did.